Okay, here we go with the Discord Ascension team versus gpxxxtreme. Here we go with a Dreamscape and War of Shadows mix. These are our Dreamscape offerings. We're going to paste this into the Discord and see what everyone makes of it for our first options. Okay, back to the game to choose our Dreamscape cards. We're going with the Blessing, the Muse, and the Dream Lab after much discussion. Techno Leap was hard to put back, but we've decided not to take it. Now we have some interesting options with our starting hand. I'm pretty sure what we're going to come to a consensus on taking, but let's take it to the Discord channel. Okay, we have discussed what we're going to do with our first turn, and given our overall strategy of this game, the Dreamwillow Druids is a very nice card for our Lifebound. The Bringer of Hope is the most important thing on the table that we'd hope to get, and the Dreamwillow can acquire that since it ignores power costs and War of Shadows with direct buys, so the Dreamwillow is awesome, but we can't buy that. So it really came down to Dogs of War or Foundry Hound. And since we're pretty sure GP is going to take the Dreamwillow away from us, the Dogs of War will still be an option next turn. And regardless, Foundry Hound is a free mystic when we play it. Every time we happen to get light or until he can destroy it with a monster, we're going to get some nice benefits. So Foundry Hound was our very simple conclusion. Now to see what we'll do on the next turn with GP. Okay, we've taken our round one action. Now we get to see what GP did for his. He took the Dogs of War from us and the Planar Aperture. So I was pretty sure what we were going to do, but now we're going to have to debate about this Deluxe Capacitor or the Dreamwillow. I'm guessing that the team's going to settle on Dreamwillow, but we're going to turn it over them to find out. Okay, it's time for us to take round number 2 turn. We're going to annoy the banana by throwing these apprentices one by one slowly. Take the Dreamwillow Druids because we really want this Bringer of Hope, and we have a good chance at getting the Deluxe Capacitor because this counts as a mystic when we first play it. So we're going to be racing for that capacitor. We would really like it. Nothing we can do here, so in turn. And now we wait. Okay, here we go with the beginning of turn number 3. Let's see what GP did for the end of round 2 for him. He's got a 4-1 split. He just took a Mystic. So here's what we have to work with. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Okay, time for us to make our move. We've already seen what our options are. And we've decided the very first thing we're going to do, we already wanted to do this when we bought the Dreamwillow, is take the Bringer of Hope. Now, since a Sure Shot tracker isn't particularly special or interesting, we all agreed, unless it was a construct or something unique, we're going to go for the Deluxe Capacitor. Now, maybe somebody will be mad at me for ignoring a Sure Shot because it has a bonus ability with the Flare Tracker, but I don't think they're going to mind that we go for our original plan of Deluxe Capacitor. Okay, and there's Isha the Pursuer. That's another really good card to hit the center because 6 power is going to be hard for the GP to get to right now, but we have a Dreamwillow that can buy it for free. Okay, and here we have the next turn. Let's see what he did with it. He had a 3-1, took another Banisher and an Ephemeral. So he's got 2 ways to banish in his deck. We've got a few options. I'm pretty positive we're going to take the Lifebound Verdant Chanter because that's where we're going with our game and we can afford that. But let's throw that to the group. Okay, here we go with actually taking our turn. We have decided to take the Verdant Chanter and hopefully have day. Nope, no day, so there's nothing I can do with this one apprentice, and the turn gets passed. Okay, here we go with the end of turn 4, see what GP did. He bought a Nocturnal Seer, he bought a Sure Shot, and that is it. We have a lot of really exciting options available to us. I'm kind of tempted just to take the first of the exciting options and see what else happens. Oh well, we'll wait. Okay, this is just a supplemental turn. We're gonna see what happens when we take the Gladiator. That way we can pick new plans. Foundry Hound. Okay. Okay, time to see what GP did for the rest of turn 5. He took the other Foundry Hound and kept that away from us. A Verdant Hatchling to get himself some more insight. That does mean we have enough insight to do some things too, which we can consider here soon. Given the center row, we're going to have some interesting options. I don't think anybody's going to mind me playing this right now, so that way we can find out what our hand has. And now that we know what our hand has, let's go back to the group. Okay, now we're going to take our turn, or at least most of our turn. We have decided on a vote to banish an apprentice, to acquire the tank, and then to use our 3 on the Shade Viper. And we're really hoping it would stay normal, but now it's going to give him his Foundry Hound. I had actually voted against the Shade Viper, but that's okay. Still a reasonably good move. I'm not sure if we voted on the Dream Lab though, and we did need to do that now if we wanted it. Let me look back at the conversation before I end the turn. Looks like we did talk about it some. And there wasn't enough discussion about the Dream Lab other than we were going for a construct deck. So we're going to go ahead and buy it and end this turn. Wish there had been more discussion, but we need the game to move. We've only got 609 hours left, guys. Come on. Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, that's enough to kill the Scavenger Ants and buy Luro and an Ephemeral and an Auspicious. So he did a lot of things that turn. He used an Ephemeral, used a Foundry Hound, used his War-Torn and his Dogs of War to banish some stuff. So he banished 2 more apprentices. He killed the Scavenger Ants. He got Luro the Hunter that allows him to spend runes as combat or combat as runes. He also acquired an Ephemeral Druid for 5 points, an Auspicious Ascara, which gave him another insight and allowed him to buy a Bringer of Despair. So now we need to watch out for void cards going to him. The good news here is we're going to get Isha the Pursuer. In fact, that's the only thing we're going to use the Dream Willow on, so I'm going to go ahead and do that before I even ask the group. That's been decided for a long time. Now with what's left, there really aren't a lot of options. We can take a Heavy or a Mystic, and then in our turn. I will present that to the group, but it's probably just going to be a Mystic. We'll see. Okay, here we are taking our turn. Pop back into this. We had a whole lot of interesting options given the center row. Let me double check where the vote ended up. The vote ended up with 2 for a Mystic and 4 for a Heavy, so we're going to go for a Heavy given the center row conditions. Pass turn. Get a look at our new hand. The Dream Lab coming up in this hand is a good pull for us. We need this tank to come up and not the very next card. We get a draw from the Deluxe Capacitor and we don't want to overdraw it. Otherwise we're going to have 6 buying power and 3 killing power with potential for a Shade Viper. So we're going to be able to do something on our next turn. Okay, here we go with the next turn. He's grabbed Map of the Stars, a Heavy Infantry, and a Cultist. Now to see what our options are, we're going to use the draw effect. Then we're going to examine things and take it to the group. Pretty sure I know what we're about to do though. Okay, here we go with taking our turn. We've already played our Dream Lab to trigger the Foundry Hound's 2 runes. First thing we're going to do is play some power and take the 4 points for the Tide Stalker. It's always good. Flip the light. We were kind of hoping it would be day so that when we play this we'd have some more options. That's okay. We definitely want this rescue bot. And we're going to be able to put it straight into play since it's day, so that's not exactly something we're going to complain about having had come up. Now we have 3 left over, but the Rift Watch costs us 1 less. So I'm assuming we're going to grab the Rift Watch, but I will put it to a vote to make sure everyone approves of the construct over the, what do you call it, Mystic that we were planning on getting if nothing good flipped. Okay, real quick finish to the turn, grabbing the outpost, seeing what flips, and passing turn. Yay. Okay, let's see what he did with his turn. He had a chance to banish some ants, kill a Tide Stalker, and grab a couple of heavies. There's nothing for our turn to start with playing, so let's just take the picture and go to the group. Okay, we've got our plan in place. We're going to kill this Shard Wing, and we're going to empower that kill. And I don't really, I guess I'm going to send this to the group, but I'm pretty sure I know what we're doing here. Here we go. Okay, and finishing up our turn, grabbing the Verdant Hatchling, getting a few more jelly beans so we can grab the Reverie Muse. We could get an extra heavy out of the Shade Viper, but we're going to hold on to that for now. Pass turn. Okay, let's see what he did. And if I check the log for what it says he did in that round, banish, banish, acquire, acquire. So we took both scouts as planned, a heavy and a cultist. So for our turn, we're automatically going to start with using the tank to see what we get. And, well, lots of options for how we play this out. Let's take a screenshot and see what everyone wants to do. Okay, here we are at the crux of the game, about to make some crucial plays. Most notably, we're going to increase as much of our runes as possible prior to doubling it all, using the cannon point to be able to get this chaos cannon. The unbound emissary is nice and all, but it's worth less points. We can put this straight into play because we have a wonderful deluxe capacitor and a wonderful rescue bot. I guess the deluxe capacitor we've actually already used this turn off of the tank play, so no draw a card. But now we're in great shape to be able to slay lots of stuff in the center. Now, what we'd really like to do is turn the board to night. So what I'm going to recommend to everyone is that we kill this deceitful ghoul, and if we're lucky, if we turn the board to night, we'll be able to use this Shade Viper to get the point we need for the Auxis. So I'm going to take a screenshot and send this to the group. Okay, time to execute our plan of getting rid of this ghoul and hopefully getting a neutral or a night card so we can get nighttime. Now that it's nighttime, we can pop our Shade Trophy, and that'll get us Auxis. We don't want to upset the night-day balance, so War-Torn and Historian are not valid grabs to try to get an extra monster. We're just going to kill Auxis as is. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3 dark, 1 day. If I'm counting that right, 1, 2, 3 dark, 1 day. So I can use the ghoul on the emissary to get an extra monster. I'll take it. It'll get us 1 extra buying power. We're trying to push the game as fast as we can. I did get permission to just make the turn. Well, obviously 4 for 4 towards the end of the game is a good deal. We don't have a good way to get the Verdant Enchanter, but I can just grab it like this. The rescue bot's a no-brainer. Popping Nari's Blessing is wonderful. Grab the Dream Killer, and then if GP does anything on his turn, we will have victoried this game. And the chances with his deck are very high. He can earn a point somewhere. Okay, good game, guys. Okay, the game is complete, so he managed to end the honor pool. Let's see how he did it. Gained 2 direct points, that'll work. Killed a Cavern Creeper in the discard pile, or the Void, to get a Map of the Stars for an extra 3 points. Relatively unspectacular final turn, and there is the score of the Discord Hive Mind versus GP, the current reigning world champion. Thanks for all the help in the decisions, guys. We've had some great discussions. You can always find the chat discussion or the video synopsis at the end of this. I hope you've enjoyed, and we're going to definitely do this again. I've had a great time.